just remember, don't always trust how you feel about yourself, because so I know it's common experience because I've heard this from multiple people when I like go to community groups or like church groups or Bible study groups. When people start sharing their testimonies or just like their history, a lot of the girls I bump to in my age range always have the story of being in a terrible relationship, right? Either being abusive or toxic or whatever you want to call it. But a lot of girls that I bumped into have that experience, so I think I'm not speaking for myself. But if you've been there, or you've heard of other people being there, or you can imagine yourself being there, just imagine this. You're with toxic people, right? In a toxic environment. These people talk down on you, they criticize you, they tell you how when you do something and you feel like your efforts were good and you just kind of feel proud of yourself deep inside because you did something creative or you accomplished something, you feel good. And then when you show these people criticize you and they put you down and they point out the faults of your learning journey, right? And that's kind of messed up. But anyway, just think about that feeling of what it feels like to be criticized and be in this environment, right? Again, just if you've been there, you already know how it goes. People call you names even, or just say how better the work you do could be. And maybe not in a I'm gonna build you up way, more in a I want to put you down and feel bad and not like make you feel not proud of what you're doing, right? Like belittle you. So just imagine being in that environment. Your boyfriend, your parents, either friends or just people around you that talk like this about you. Imagine being there, and can you imagine like what type of thoughts would that person have if you're putting yourself in this scenario? What type of thoughts are you going to have? Deep down inside, of course, you're going to feel frustration because how can they say this about you, but because they're saying it, and maybe it's a person that you really care for that's saying this, someone that you value for some reason, or a lot of people or several people are saying that you're not good enough, that your work is not cool, or that you shouldn't put stuff out there, you know? Just what sort of thoughts do you think you're gonna have about yourself? Again, if you've been there, you already know how it goes. You feel bad about yourself, right? You feel like they might be right because it's an external view. And then you start to believe this in a sense. Like deep inside you know that that's not right, but part of your brain kind of like adopts that. Yeah, so just imagine that, and yeah, imagine how you would end up thinking about yourself. So anyway, to wrap this up already, basically now we're going to move out of that little scenario that I put you in, and now this is your head. You criticize yourself a lot like this. You are these toxic people, like the dialogues that these toxic people in this scenario were having are dialogues that you're having in your head about yourself. And imagine if you're an overthinker like me and you're introverted and you spend a lot of time together, or a lot of time in your thoughts, or a lot of time in silence, or just inside your head, what sort of environment do you think that criticism, that self-criticism is causing in your head? And like pay attention on how these like self-talk is making you feel. And obviously, again, if you're in this sort of toxic environment, you're obviously going to feel bad. Now, this is the same thing that happens in your brain. You're in this toxic environment and you're feeling bad about yourself because you're in this toxic environment. So just remember, don't always trust how you feel about yourself because you're just maybe in the wrong headspace. And this can probably be a one-day thing, or a 1 week thing, or a 1 month thing, or a year's thing that's been going on in your head. So just be aware of this. And I believe awareness can help us walk out of it, if that makes sense. Or maybe in the future, make a little change. But anyway, what I wanted to say was that don't always trust how you feel about yourself, especially, again, if you're the type of person that's in your head a lot, like me. And I just had to realize that a lot of the times when I feel these, I guess, negative emotions, negative feelings, that they're probably not true. It's just I'm in a toxic environment. So yeah, that's all I want to say. I gotta go. Gotta wrap up. So see you later. Bye.